Alright, well, it stopped raining just long enough for me to do a firing demonstration of my Mega Hammershot. If I can hit the wall, I will consider it a success. Well, all but that last one went great. Still, I consider it acceptable. Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and I like all things modular. And what we're going to be taking a look at here today is not strictly speaking modular, I suppose. It's more of a way to add, alter or add functionality. So, yattarokitkat has finally released his Mega Hammershot cylinder. And I've been wanting this since I first saw the video on Make Test Battle, and they finally released it, and I printed one out, and I'm gonna do a video on installing it. And then, well, I'd test it, but it's currently pouring rain, so I'll shoot it around to my shop and see what kind of a performance we get. Yeah, let's get this thing open, and pretty quick. The kit takes 5 parts, well, 4 and a tool, really. So you've got the 2 halves of the front assembly, which extends the part that holds the cylinder in place because the Mega cylinder is considerably longer. You then have the cylinder itself, which includes the peg and spigots. There is a version that doesn't have the spigots printed in if you want to use metal spigots or something like that, PETG or something. And then, of course, the rotation mechanism, which needs to be replaced because this is a 4-round cylinder instead of 5. The 5-round spigot cylinder that is also available uses the stock rotation mech, which is gonna work much smoother because it is injected molded and all of that, whereas this one is 3D printed. I have tried to file down the ridges on the mechanism to make sure that it rotates as smoothly as possible, and we'll see how well that works. But let's get this thing open and get this thing in. Now, I mentioned that there were 4 parts and a tool, so we covered the 4 parts. Either side of this, the spinner mech, which unfortunately broke, so I'm printing a new one, this one at 100% infill. And then the tool, which is this part. And this piece goes right there, and it's a guide for cutting. So that you know exactly where you need to cut it off. And it keeps you from cutting too much, or not cutting enough. So it just fits in that gap, and it just is a little guide. You tape it in place, and then you know where to cut. So, I'm going to tape it, and then I'm going to take this thing to the bandsaw while I drop things on the floor. Oh, God. Alright, it's cut. No going back now. The one downside to this kit is that once you make the modification, it's not so easy to unmake the modification, so you best get it right. And hypothetically, once you glue the 2 halves in, you should still be able to split the blaster open. So that at least is neat. Now we can kind of vaguely see. Sure enough. Alright, so I've upgraded the spring with some of this lovely number 62, I think, that was sent to me by a fan, which is fantastic. I could probably actually get away with a few more coils, because there is still some room there for compression. But it definitely hits a lot harder now. We'll see if it's hard enough to fire Mega Darts with any range once the new spinner gets printed. I may have to get another metal kit just for this one, just because, you know, then I'd have matching metal and matching Mega and regular ones. Okay, well, the next part, I suppose, is really the gluing of this. If I were designing this, I would have made it so that there were screws that came in from the bottom. And the good news is, I can probably just add that. Yeah, right. Well, that is now well and solid. I just went with 4 screws instead of bothering with glue, though I think I will possibly glue it anyway. Yeah. Because I can't get a screw in on the top because of how close the cylinder is. And there is some wiggle. Alright. That is glued and screwed. Now we wait. Go check on that print. Right, well, 3 rotation mechs later, and it's finally working. First one I printed, I didn't print it at 100% infill, and it snapped right off. Printed it again at 100% infill, and it snapped right off. Switched printers using a different filament, works fine. So, lesson learned. Anyway, it works beautifully. It holds 4 mega darts. Technically, it is still a spigot. It's just inside the little cylinder, so it looks really cool. The 5-round version does not have the outer shells, so it can hold a 5th round, which means it can use the original rotation mech, which means it rotates much smoother because it's injected molded, which is lovely. But I really like this one just for the cosmetics. I will probably eventually get the other one as well, just because it's really cool. Firing is obviously not the most impressive, though I imagine once you've used the darts on those spigots and they get stretched out a little bit, it might work better. Don't know how heavy the spring that I have in here actually is. I may try using a slightly longer one since there was enough room to still get compression. But it does fire. It's dark now, so I can't test it outside, but it shoots hard enough for them to whistle. So that's definitely something. I imagine I'd at least be getting 30 feet, which is more than enough than what I want out of this, because if I'm using it, it's because Mega Darts do something important, and I will probably wait until the opponent is good and close anyway. So, I absolutely love that things like this exist. People out there with the engineering skills to design these things, make more things like this, because that's just awesome. Making Mega Blasters shoot Elite, making Elite Blasters shoot Mega, awesome stuff. So, this will definitely be going on my wall amongst my war gear. We haven't yet actually implemented the idea that Mega Darts pierce shields. We have agreed that we all like that rule, but we have also all agreed that it makes things too complicated. That in a Nerf battle with, it's easy to tell when a rocket has hit your shield. It's not going to be so easy to tell that a Mega Dart has hit your shield, especially since a lot of people use Men Gun Darts, which are red. So we decided that it's pretty much just going to add a level of complexity that we didn't want to deal with. Maybe in a more confined location, like one of the forts, where there's a lot less arcs of fire because it's more enclosed, then we might be able to use something like that. But frankly, I'm kind of with the people who say that let's not try to make it too much more complicated because it just causes issues. But in any case, there are HVZs where mega rounds do, like, you have to use mega rounds to kill certain zombies. So I definitely love that I now have this, because I believe this is the only true one-hand Mega Blaster. You could hypothetically one-hand a Mastodon, but that doesn't sound pleasant. So I love that this is now a thing, and that it's not exactly a drop-in kit. You do have to cut it, so you can't just swap cylinders as easily, though you could hypothetically modify a regular cylinder so that it would fit in here. You just have to make that front post a little bit longer. So you could make it so it could switch back and forth if you really felt like it, but frankly, I don't think I ever would. So yeah, there it is. I love it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Let me know if there's more STLs out there that I don't know about. My collection of STLs is growing rapidly. My compliments to yattarokitkat for this design. This is magnificent, and I definitely look forward to the 5-round cylinder version, if I can get my hands on the STLs for that. If not, I might just order one. Australia's a long ways away, but I think it'd be worth it just to support the kind of people who design this sort of thing. So, there you have it. Let me know what you guys think, and thank you guys for watching.